Hey there, book lovers. I'm Haley.
And I'm Kaylie. Welcome to Two Chicks and a Plot Twist,
The official podcast for the Facebook group, All Things Book Related.
We're two besties who are here to share our love for unforgettable characters, unpredictable storylines, and the books we just can't put down.
From our all-time favorites to the latest releases, we're bringing you deep dives, hot takes, and maybe a little friendly disagreement.
So grab your favorite read and let's get ready for some bookish fun.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to Two Chicks and a Plot Twist. We are so glad that you're here with us today. We have got a super fun episode planned for you guys.
That's right. Today, we're talking about the books we recommended for each other.
Yes, we traded favorites, and we'll be spilling all the tea about our reactions. No sugarcoating here.
And we'll also be talking about our book club read, Phantasma by Kaylie Smith.
We can't wait for you guys to hear our thoughts, but before we kick things off, Kaylie, how have you been?
Yeah.
Do you have any Christmas things planned?
Oh my god. Well, first of all, I've been super busy. Next week, or no, not even next week. I don't even remember. I don't know what day it is today. My head is spinning. December 30th, I think. I don't know. 2 weeks from now, I'll be in Mexico for a week.
My goodness.
So I am very excited for that. I'm going with family. We're going to be on a boat in,
Fun.
in Mexico in the ocean.
Fun.
So love it. I hope I get to swim with the sea turtles.
Is Christian going this time?
He
I know last
is.
time he was like, I didn't go with Kaylie to Mexico.
Yeah, no, this time he's coming. He didn't. Last time we were in Mexico, it was for my mom's birthday, but he's a teacher, so he had to work, and it was in the middle of September, so he didn't come with us then. But since he's got this fancy little Christmas break that all teachers get, he's coming with us. So he's very happy about that. He's very excited. He's been picking out his outfits and things. He's more excited than me. I'm oh, look at you.
I love that.
But yeah, we're super pumped. But what about you? You have anything planned or?
We're just going to my parents Monday, so tomorrow. It's Sunday right now. For everyone who doesn't know.
Yes.
We're recording right now on Sunday. So we're going to my parents tomorrow, and then we've got to leave Christmas Day because I have to work on the 26th.
No.
I know. It's
my God.
awful.
So how many days you get to spend there? Because how long is that drive for you?
It's a 6-hour drive. So we'll get there Monday probably late because we're probably going to leave at noon or 1 o'clock. And then Thursday, I can't talk.
Neither could I a second ago.
I'm what is happening? Yeah. We're going to get there Monday, probably at 8 or 9. It just depends on when we leave. And then we'll be there all day Tuesday. Wednesday, which is Christmas, we'll probably have to leave at 2 and then head back up here. And then I've got to work. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Christmas season. Gotta love it.
I know.
And then this morning I went book shopping. So I came
Fun.
I know. I came home with I don't know. I spent $50 at Goodwill today. And
Dang.
yeah, so that means I probably came home with close to 30 books.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'm going a little crazy. I'm trying to stock my little free library, which isn't up yet, but I hope to have it up right after Christmas comes and everything is calmer, and I want to start blind dates with a book. I'm gonna say I'm so excited. Everyone, Haley gifted me blind date with a book supply. She definitely jump started. She also gifted me this shirt. I said I would wear it. There it is. Okay, if you can't see, it's Jack Sparrow. And he's on Snapchat, and he says, "Have you seen my jar of dirt?" And I love it.
So, guys, I've never seen Pirates of the Caribbean. If you've been here since the beginning, you will remember. But I've never seen it before. And so when I saw it on TikTok, I showed Edgar. I was like, is this Pirates of the Caribbean? And he was like, oh, I think so, because he hasn't seen it either.
Oh my God, y'all.
So I was like, I'm going to get it for Kaylie.
Yes. Well, I love it. It's my Harry Potter is what we said. Yes. Love it so much. But yeah, so it's been very busy and a lot's been going on. So anything else?
I'm taking my winter semester class right now. It's awful. Don't do that. If you're listening, if you're in college, don't do that. You'll want to die. Sorry, but you will. Because it's really 4 months of classwork all combined into 2.5 weeks. And it makes me want to pull my hair out. I've got something due almost every day. My advisor kind of sprung it on me, and she was like, oh, you need to take this. you can't graduate without it. I'm like, okay, can I take it in the spring, like as a full class? No, all the seats are closed. You got to take it right now during the winter. I was like, okay,
No.
if you say so.
Gosh.
So I've
Yeah.
been doing that. I'm writing something for my dad. So this is coming out. This will be coming out on the 26th. So if my dad's listening, you've already got it. So I'm writing like a really short story, like probably like less than a page long. I'm still like editing it. It's kind of just like it's like a dad and a daughter and growing up having like a shared love for books. And so I want to like I'm trying to like edit it right now. So I'll send it to you when I'm done and I might post it on our stories
My God.
once I get everything edited, but I'm just getting into that also.
Dude, I love that.
I asked him, I was like, what do you want for Christmas? And he was, you know how when parents are, oh, I just want my kids here.
Yes.
I just want my kids, to write me a card saying that I love you. And I was like, okay, well, I'm going to take that literally and I'll
You're gonna
write
write
him
him a whole
something.
story, is what you're doing. I love that.
I will
Aw.
share it, but life has been crazy. Ugh.
Wow. Well, maybe it'll pop off. It'll be more than a gift and it'll go viral on the internet, and then you should just be an author.
I know, right? Well,
Yes.
McKaylie has big news about
I
her next book. I saw it
do.
today.
Yes. I just announced today that I have a novella releasing in the Forgotten Isle saga. So it is titled Isle of No. It is titled Isle of Lies and Legends. And I gotta get used to saying it out loud because my whole year has just been saying Isle of Beasts and Shadows. That's like been the only one.
Right.
But now I'm like, no, Isle of Lies and Legends. So yeah, gotta get over that tongue twister because I will be saying it a lot in the few coming months. But first draft is done. I'm very excited to put it out in the world. It'll come out sometime in 2025. We haven't gotten like a for sure set date yet, so expect it within the next few months. But I am
Yay!
very, very pumped. Yes.
Yeah, I'm super excited. I've been telling McKaylie, I was like, I need a novella. Like, give me a
Yes.
novella, please. So I'm so happy.
Yeah, no, it'll answer quite a few questions I think everyone has about the book. Because I've been seeing that a lot in the reviews too. I'm like, okay, I'm glad this has been written because like once it's published, I feel like a lot of the questions people have in those reviews, like they'll be answered. And then it's like, okay, just read the next, book in the series and then all your questions are answered. But
you're commenting, read the next
yes.
book. Read the next book.
I'm gonna go in and respond to everyone's comment. But yeah, the novella will take place like a few centuries before everything happens in like Isle of Beasts and Shadows. So it's a good, easy read, I think. I think it's going to be really easy to and divulge. I don't know what.
Yeah.
Get
into.
Yeah. But yeah, very exciting.
Well,
Lots of
besides
things.
that, and also, guys, McKaylie has created a website for us. McKaylie is our little busy bee. She is busy 24/7.
Yes.
We love her. She's made a website. It is so cool. My dad called me yesterday and he was like, I love what y'all are doing. Y'all need to make a website. And I was like, McKaylie made one today. Let me text it to you. And he was like, that's so cool. Like, y'all need to start like a blog on there and write all your stuff. So I was like, oh, thank you. Yes.
No, originally I did have like a blog segment on there, but then I told myself, I was like, wait, we might be too busy for this right now. Like, let us get into the groove a little more.
Yeah.
And yeah, we'll see where it goes from there. But I can see us doing a blog, hopefully merch and things like that, too. But I mean, we'll get there. We'll definitely get there. And
eventually.
Yeah, I forgot to tell you. I was like, oh, maybe I should surprise Haley, but I'll just tell you here. A little surprise. So Amazon has a print-on-demand service. You apply and they check you out, look at your website, and everything. And I gave them our Instagram for 2 ticks and a plot twist and just kind of all the basic information, like why we would be qualified enough to like be creating merch for Amazon, just to help them like ensure it would maybe sell. And so I put in an application. I should hear back within a week or two and see if we get accepted. So if we get accepted into like their little Amazon merch program, we can create t-shirts, hoodies, mugs, like anything, hats. And we don't have to, cool. I know, we don't have to pay for the supplies. They'll just take like kind of a royalty from it, like a percentage. So we're not losing anything if we choose to,
because the one that I was looking at online, you would have to pay for it. And so I
Yeah.
made like the mock-ups for it. I was like, oh, we'd have to pay this much money like to have this many. I was like,
Yeah.
I wonder what else is out there.
I know.
That's
Yeah.
so
So
cool.
we won't have to worry about mailing it ourselves. Like it'll be all done. Like we'll design it. We'll get like some percentage, whatever that is. But Amazon will also get a percentage and they'll just ship it out
Hmm.
for us. And like how easy. All we did was design it, and we'll profit off the design. So very
Maybe one day,
exciting.
guys, you will
Yes.
get merch from us,
Yes. Yes.
hopefully.
Wear,
But
wear it
besides,
proudly.
yes, besides that, what have you been reading?
My gosh. Well, what did I finish? How My Neighbor Stole Christmas. I loved it. Yes, we'll talk more about that one later. And so I won't get into that right now. I also read Spectacular, the little Caraval
Huh?
novella. That was so easy. I finished that so fast, and I listened to the audiobook version like so
Even
fast.
when I saw that you read it, I was like, oh, I want to read that one so bad because I have the paperbacks and
Yeah.
I want the paperback to match, but I don't know if they will or not.
Yes. No,
So I'm waiting to see. I've heard so many good things about
I
it.
also have the paperbacks of the trilogy, and
Hmm.
I did not buy the hardcover Spectacular
Right.
because it's the same reason. And but I did listen to the audio. You should listen to the audio before Christmas is over because it's Christmas season. So
Okay,
it's very,
yeah.
holiday, very easy, seasonal. I also read Where's Molly? Yeah, I think I'm just a hater. Like, I don't know. And there's a little funny thing I'm going to say, but I'll save that for later. But
No.
I'm also halfway through Blood and Ash by Jennifer Armentrout.
I have been wanting to read that. I've had the
My
book. I had the
God.
first I've had the first two books on my shelf for almost 3 years, and I have not read them,
My
but I
God.
see them all the time all over
No.
my feed.
I'm halfway through. You should start. We should just read it together.
We
Dude,
should.
I'm sure
Are
you
you
have so
listening to
many.
it?
Yeah. I do have the book though, but I know I'm going to finish faster than you anyway because I'm listening. If you choose to read it, but if you listen to it, we'll probably be at the same pace. But yeah, what about you? What are your recently read books?
I just finished Little Women, so I'm trying to do like all my classics. I do
Yeah.
more classic reads, like especially on Audible because they're free. They come with your membership. So I read that, and then one of my friends gifted me like a physical copy of it because I don't have my other one anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So it's so cute. I have that. I also finished my reread for the Harry Potter series. So I just finished The Deathly Howls. I read a couple of short Christmas novellas. They were okay.
I
They're
saw your
my
reviews for those.
my reviews. It's like a 5 book series and it's free with your Amazon Prime membership. And I read the first two and I'm like, okay, just because it's free doesn't mean I should read it now. I know that because they were not that good. If you want my review, it's on my Bookstagram and my Goodreads. But I also just started Vicious by V.E. Schwab. That is so good. I can't. I've
Really?
had that one. Same thing. I've had it on my shelf for years.
Oh my God.
And one of my friends, I gifted her the copy, and I was like, "Hey, we should read this together." So we're buddy reading it right now, and it's really good.
That's so exciting. No, I loved The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. We'll get more into
Yes.
that one a little later too.
V.E. Schwab writes books so beautifully, and it's so easy to read, and it really makes you think about your surroundings, so it's so good. But now, as promised, I have got a quick quiz for
Oh my
McKaylie.
gosh.
McKaylie has quizzed me a couple times, little surprise quizzes. I've got her this time. So for this quiz, we will be finding out which Archeron sister she is. So that's going to be the 3 sisters that are in the ACOTAR series. Hopefully I'm saying their last name right, but I think it's
Yeah.
Archeron.
Yeah, that's how I say
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, so it's just going to be a couple questions, and at the end, I'll tell you which sister matches your personality. And listeners, please feel free to follow along and share your results with us on Instagram or in our All Things Book Related Facebook group. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm like 95% sure which one I'm going to get. Like, I'm like pretty set on who I'm
Well, we'll
probably going to
see.
be. I know. I'm so excited.
Okay, how do you approach a challenge? Face it head on with fierce determination, carefully think it through and plan your next steps, find creative ways to adapt and keep moving forward.
One of the last two. Probably the second one. Which one? It was like
Carefully think it through
carefully
and plan
think
your
it
next
through.
steps. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What is most important to you? protecting and defending the people you love, creating a safe and peaceful life for yourself and others, freedom to explore and follow your passions.
Freedom to explore.
Freedom to explore. Okay, how do you recharge after a tough day? Spend time alone reflecting or venting your frustrations. Surround yourself with loved ones in a comforting environment. Or find a quiet moment to do something creative or meaningful.
The quiet moment. Yes. I have a lot of those.
Yeah.
I enjoy my little creative
alone time,
yes.
free time, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. Which setting feels like home to you? A quiet, secluded cabin where you can be alone with your thoughts, a warm garden with flowers and sunlight, a bustling city where anything feels possible.
Oh my gosh, wait, what was the first one? The cabin?
A quiet, secluded cabin where you can be alone with your thoughts.
Okay, I want to choose the garden.
Well, we know who that's gonna be. Okay. Last question. How would your friends describe you? Fierce, independent, and protective. Kind, patient, and compassionate. Resilient, brave, and resourceful.
The compassionate one. The second one.
I wonder who it is.
I wonder.
Okay, you got mostly B's, so you are more like Elaine. Gentle, nurturing, and empathetic. You find joy in creating peace and beauty in your world, and your quiet strength is an inspiration to those around you.
Dang. I was almost a Nesta, wasn't I?
You were almost a Feyre.
Oh, really?
So, if you haven't read ACOTAR, there's 3 sisters, Nesta, Elaine, and Feyre. Nesta is strong-willed, passionate, and deeply protective. Feyre is resilient, resourceful, and independent. She's driven by her need to protect those who she cares about while carving out her own path in life.
Dang. Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm totally Elaine. People hate on Elaine and Nesta for different reasons, you know? And
love Elaine.
I love Elaine too, but
Elaine is such an interesting character.
Yeah, and everyone hates on her because she just kind of sits around and does nothing and like is over here planting flowers instead of food when the whole family is starving, you know? And,
yeah.
I mean, everyone hates Nesta because she's just, you know, mean. So everyone has their own reasons. I'm waiting on Elaine's book. We all know it's coming.
Yes.
I know Sarah J. Maas is going to give my girl a little comeback and give everyone a reason to put a sock in their mouths and, you know, like, come on. So, yeah, definitely Elaine. I feel that one for sure. Gosh.
Yes. So now, guys, we're going to jump into what today's episode is about, and that is us recommending the books for each other. So just a reminder for everyone, I recommended that Kaylie read The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab. I read this one last year, and it was one of my favorite reads of the year. I think that it's a beautiful story about identity, freedom, and love. So I'm very interested to hear what Kaylie thought about it. I haven't read her review, so I'm very curious.
I know. Yeah, I absolutely loved this book. For me, it was a 5-star, and I think I wrote somewhere, I was like, if I could give it 6 stars, I would. The way the book made you feel by the end of it was almost like the Midnight Library a little bit, because it was so introspective, and the Midnight Library didn't have so much of a plot twist, but The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue really did.
Yeah.
And once you like get to the end of it, you're like, I'm trying to do this without spoilers, but I don't know, should we do spoilers?
I mean, I wrote a lot of spoilers in my review.
Okay.
So if you haven't read these books yet, maybe skip ahead.
Yeah.
We're doing a Phantasma discussion. Yes. If you haven't read that one either, say goodbye with us.
And then go read it.
Go read it, and then catch us for our next episode.
Yes. Anyways, but yeah, this book blew away my brain, and it was very just hauntingly beautiful. Like I wanted her to like be with the demons so bad, and I obviously knew.
Me too.
I was like, please tell her.
When she had that dinner and she like set the table and she dressed nice and he didn't come, I was like, oh my god, no.
I know. And then it like kind of broke my heart, like when he was just kind of like tricking her into it. But then he wanted her in a different way than we perceive wanting someone in a relationship. So That was hard for me to wrap my head around because I didn't want to believe it like that. I was like, no, make her be the special one that you fall in love for, just like a human. Well, but obviously that didn't work out like that. But thankfully, Addie got the upper hand in this, kind of. Yeah, kind of. We're waiting for her to get the upper hand is what's really happening. Because, I mean, her story kind of isn't over. There could be a book 2 of this if there really could be. Like, it didn't just, like, and everyone died or something. It could have been another book. But I also think it's perfect the way it ended, too, because it leaves you thinking about everything that just happened. And Henry, like, I love Henry and the way he, like, preserves Addie's memory, and it's like all along you've been reading his book in a way, and I really loved that. So if I could give it 6 stars, I would highly recommend to anyone who loves just deep, emotional, and thought-provoking stories. It was magical. So too bad she didn't end up with a Shadow Daddy, but he was kind of a jerk. So
our romanticy in us wants her to fall in love with the villain.
Yes, but this villain, he was like, actually, like, there's no coming back from that. So there's a limit. But anyways, guys, I recommended Kaylie read Funny Story by Emily Henry, and I loved this book so much. And before reading this book, I was, full-time fantasy genre only book girly, and this book really got me into the rom-coms, modern day romance books. And I mean, I still don't read as many of them as I do the fantasy, but this definitely got my foot in the door just because I loved it so much. But I am ready to dive into more of Emily Henry's books. And just today, like, one of the books I found at my local Goodwill was Beach Read by Emily Henry.
Yeah.
It was like someone had put it on their shelf and never read it and just decided to, like, so perfect. It's calling to me. It was meant to be. So I'm very excited to dive into that one, but tell me what you thought about it.
Yes. So this was my first Emily Henry book. I've seen her books, on my feed, but I am that fantasy girl, so I was like, not my thing. But after reading it, I've put all of her books on my TBR. Like, I have Beach Read now. I haven't read it yet, but it's on my shelf. I also have Book Lovers on my shelf, so I've got those two. I think that's it. I've got those 2 now, and the rest of them are on my TBR. I really liked it. Funny Story was such a short, quick, and easy read for me. I think that the way the book was written, it was just written so well, and the witty banter was so good. I think that the main character, Daphne, she had a really beautiful journey. There was a couple things, though.
I'm ready to be stabbed in the heart.
No, I've sat on this book for like almost 2 or 3 weeks now. I finished it that long ago. I've sat on it. I was like, okay, well, now that I've thought about it, I really wish that Daphne had more time to grow on her own without any sort of romance or relationship. I wish that she just had more time to kind of do her own thing. And then the other thing that I just didn't like was when Miles helped move his ex-girlfriend out. I was like, my God, I'm dying inside. But besides that, that's just me nitpicking, honestly. Other than that, it was an overall great read. I mean, I can definitely see myself reading more of these rom-com books, like in between, like fantasy reads. And that's why I've got 2 of her books now. So I've definitely got plans for the rest of her books. But I really liked it.
Yeah. Well, let's go ahead and get into the, like, real genre we both enjoy.
Phantasma.
We love our shadow daddies. Ever since I heard you say it one day, I've been using that word nonstop. So, like, all of my book boyfriends are shadow daddies. So, but anyways, guys, the book summary, Phantasma, it's by Kaylie Smith. It's a dark fantasy romance novel about a young woman who enters a deadly competition to save her sister. The Prince of the Devils have visited New Orleans. New Orleans? New Orleans. The Prince of the Devils. I don't know. New Orleans?
I say New Orleans, but I don't know.
I'll Google it later. It's fine. The Prince of the Devils have visited New Orleans with Phantasma, a set of trials that many enter but only one wins. The winner is granted a wish, and that alone is worth the journey to the depths of hell. So, yes, we do have a little content warning, too. So there's blood and gore, bullying and threats, violence, death, depictions of the afterlife, complicated mother and sister relationships, substance abuse, alcohol use, intrusive thoughts, death of a parent, insects and reptiles. Our content warning. Explicit explicit.
Wrote so many sorry.
I'm like,
I was like, this was in there, this was in there, this was in there.
that's hilarious. God, okay. Explicit sex and nudity, OCD, and anxiety conditions. So, yes, if you are afraid of insects and reptiles, guys, watch out. Because that's the worst thing on this list.
Oh my gosh.
But anyways.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, if you haven't read Phantasma, go to the end, say goodbye with us, because now we're going to get into our reviews and all the questions that we asked ourselves.
Yeah, what's your review?
So, my review, it's definitely like the Caraval series by Stephanie Garber.
Mm-hmm.
Just a lot darker. To me, let's see. I'm trying to scroll down. Phantasma really captivated me from the very first page. The author, Kaylie Smith, masterfully weaved an enchanting yet sinister atmosphere that keeps you hooked at every turn. One of my favorite aspects of the book was the thoughtful inclusion of OCD tendencies in a way that felt genuine and added another layer of relatability to the protagonist. I think that it's really sort of rare to see mental health disorders kind of be shown, especially in fantasy books.
Mm-hmm.
So the way it was portrayed was just so meaningful, and it just overall made the story feel a lot more special. But for me, 5 stars. I loved it. I can't wait for the next book. I've already pre-ordered it. It's coming out like sometime in 2025. Yay. And it's going to be about Ophelia's sister.
Oh, I didn't know that.
But I don't think it's about her time in Phantasma. I think it's her like outside.
I'm excited for that.
Yes.
No, we really didn't get to see her in Phantasma at all. Like,
yeah.
Really not at all. Yeah, I was about to say maybe a little, but like, not really. Yeah. That's crazy. But my take, ready? Haunted house, ghost boyfriends, a game of survival? Yes, please. Oh my god, I went into Phantasma not knowing like really what to expect at all. I just thought it was kind of a Halloween book, and I mean, we were reading this right after Halloween, and I was so mad. I was like, gosh, I should have read it for Halloween. But anyways, it still worked out. It was still a great book, and I just couldn't put it down. It had me hooked from the very first page, and I loved the eerie, haunted house setting and the ghostly romance. It was all just perfectly balanced with high stakes and edge of your seat survival game. And I grew up on the Saw movies. Like, I was obsessed with the Saw. It's a little dark, but I've
never seen them, but like I know about them.
Oh my god, no.
I'm too scared.
It is a whirlwind. Probably not okay for my mental health, but
oh no.
I remember sitting in a classroom with my friends, and we'd be watching like on our iPods the Saw movies in class, like sitting in the back corner. Just, watching people get, chopped up and having to do all these horrible things. Well, anyways, this book, it basically just kind of gave me very nostalgic vibes from that, and it just added like this really huge supernatural twist, and it kept me guessing until the end. So I was very happy that I didn't know what to expect after each round, and the rounds were very frequent in this game too, which I really appreciated, because I do feel like when we get these competition games in books, I feel like there's so much downtime in between the rounds that I kind of like get bored. But
this one, it was like every night, wasn't it? Every night something was happening.
Every night. So it was a very active plot. There was something always happening. There was someone always dying.
Yeah.
I was a sucker for that. So yeah, the plot was so clever. The characters were all memorable, and I mean, the tension, it just never let up. So I didn't expect to love it as much as I did, but yeah, I am officially obsessed. I'm ready for her next book. Yes. I highly recommend for, if you're a fan of suspense and spooky and, slightly twisted stories, yeah, you need to definitely read this book because it was really good.
Yeah. It just reminded me a lot of the Caraval series, especially with like the two sisters aspect.
Yeah, you're right.
That reminded me about it a lot. So definitely if you haven't read Caraval and you've read Phantasma, check out Caraval, because it's really one of my favorite series, honestly. Love it so much, but it's a lot lighter. It's not so dark like Phantasma is.
Caraval is like totally young adult, like no spice. Yeah. I mean, they kiss, maybe twice.
Yeah.
And they blush. They talk about how they're blushing. But yeah, no spice, no gruesome death. And But this one, yeah, it's a darker twist, but it is very similar in the game aspect for
Mm-hmm.
sure. So we have a few questions that we want to discuss
Yes.
and just little thought provoking things about the book. So Ophelia survives the first level of Phantasma without Blackwell's help, and she holds her own without him during later trials as well. Do you think she would have been able to win the game entirely without him? And if not, which level do you think she would have stopped on? And would she have forfeited before or made a deal with the devil to leave during? It's a long question.
It is a very long question. Sorry for making it so
No.
long, but
Good. We're good. We're good.
I do not think Ophelia would have won. Even though I love her so much, I think she's such an interesting character. She wouldn't have won without Blackwell's help at all. I think that she is resourceful and capable. Blackwell has so much knowledge about the inner works of Phantasma because he's been there so long, and he really is crucial for Ophelia to sort of navigate her way in and around Phantasma. I think without him, she may have gotten past the first few levels, but I think she would have got stuck on level 3, which was greed. And in this level, Ophelia was in a golden cage above like a sea of fire. And for her to get out of the cage, she has to climb a rock wall and collect bars of gold, I
Yeah.
think. But while this is happening, there's people around her that are going higher than her, and it's making her cage drop down. So she would have to kind of have an inner battle with herself of, okay, if I go up, I'm definitely going to kill someone. And I don't think she would have done that. I don't think she would have made a deal with the devil, one of the devils or anything. She probably would have just died.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
pretty much agree with everything. I mean, even though she already had an unfair advantage with her abilities, I mean, Blackwell is the one who taught her how to use them. And
Right.
I mean, Ophelia, like, also surviving the first level without Blackwell. I mean, yeah, sure, she did that. And I think she was just stubborn enough for that, to
Mm-hmm.
win. Winning the whole game, not a chance. I don't think she would have at all. And I mean, she might make it to, level 4 on grid alone, but after that, I think the game's brutality would really catch up to her, and she would either die or break under the pressure, and no way would she make a deal with the devil. Like, we hear her
Yeah.
whole inner monologue about how
Yeah.
much she despises anything to do with that. So,
Mm-hmm.
definitely too proud for that, and without Blackwell, I just don't think she would have stood a chance. So, she got very lucky. He was there and showed interest in her. So, I think she would have died.
So, and then the second question that we have, we kind of have opposing views on it. So I'm interested to see what everyone thinks. But
Yes.
this question, early in the book, Blackwell claimed he didn't kill Cade because he was afraid of what Ophelia might have thought about him. Do you think if Blackwell had killed Cade at that point, it would have changed Ophelia's opinion of him? And Kaylie, what you got?
Yes. So I said absolutely, because if Blackwell had killed Cade early on, it would have really shifted how Ophelia saw him. Just because at that point she was still figuring him out. She didn't really know him yet. He hadn't like proven himself to her for any reason. And I mean, murder would be like still relatively new to her. Like, wait,
Yeah.
what? Especially something so
Yeah.
cold blooded. Even though Cade was a horrible guy, she would have been like, wait, who am I dealing with here? But I think just because she hadn't known him yet, it would make her trust him even less. I mean, if that was even possible. But like, it might have also confirmed her suspicions about him. Like, Ophelia's not exactly squeaky clean herself. So I do think she would eventually come to understand why Blackwell did it, because Cade was just a horrible human
Yeah.
and they had their reasons to kill him. But I think she would definitely come around. But at that moment, it would have driven, like, I think an even bigger wedge between them. But I
Yeah.
think it would have added to the plot too. Like, seeing her get, like, so untrustworthy,
Yeah.
like, it would create some more tension, like, oh, you killed Cade, and then she'd have to
Mm-hmm.
take a step back and think, wait, who am I dealing with? And then I think eventually, yeah, it would end the same way the book ended, but I think there would have been a little longer journey to get to where they ended. So anyways,
Yeah.
what is your hot take?
But Kaylee's answer was so good. She's kind of listening to her is kind of swaying my opinion. But I said that I didn't think Ophelia would have judged Blackwell for killing Cade. I think especially given the circumstances, Ophelia knew how dangerous Cade was, and she understood the lengths that he would go and what other people would go in order to survive Phantasma. That's what I said. But now hearing Kaylie, I don't know.
No.
But the fact that Blackwell really considered her opinion just showed how much he values her and wants to be seen as someone that she can trust.
I do agree with that too. And the optimist in me wants to be like, they wouldn't, change how they saw each other because they loved each other at the end. That's the optimist in me. So part of me wanted to say that. But then I was like, okay, realistically, if it were me, granted, I'm not creepy like her, I think I have different moral values, but I think it would definitely change the way I thought of someone. So, not that we are the same person at all, me and this girl, Ophelia, but I don't know. That's just kind of how I looked at it. But our next question, guys, it goes, so before entering Phantasma, Ophelia watches Genevieve run to hug a friend and reflects there's not a single person that she would greet like that. However, when Ophelia finds herself trapped inside the walls of the library, she calls out for Blackwell and runs to hug him when he appears. What do you think elicited this change in her?
I think that Ophelia's hug really shows how much she's grown emotionally since entering Phantasma. It's a big moment in the book that shows that she's starting to let people in. I think that this is really the first time Ophelia has had a friend or had someone to talk to besides her sister and mother. So she's kind of letting her guard down. She's accepting Blackwell as one of her friends.
I agree, and I really think her whole shift comes down to like survival, stripping her walls away because she has nothing left after all of this crazy nonsense with the games. And before Phantasma, she didn't let herself get close to anyone. So there was just too much risk for her, too much pain, but inside that nightmare of a game with death around every corner, Blackwell became her anchor, and he was the only person who truly understood what she was up against. And when she was trapped in like the library, her instinct wasn't to shut down. It was to reach for the one person she trusted in that moment. And it wasn't just about relief. It was about finally letting herself need someone, which is really sweet. And it was a turning point for her, I think, in the character development sense too. Because she's not just a wall. Right? She's actually a human with feelings, not just some witchy person with all this voodoo magic kind of stuff. So, yeah, I really enjoyed the book. I loved it so much. Yeah. I wish I could reread it again for the first time. I loved it. Yeah.
I know all of my little Bookstagram friends, they've been posting about this book for a couple months, and I'm like, oh, I want to read this. Oh, I want to read this. And I was gonna read it in October or September maybe, and I looked on Amazon and it said that for me to buy it, it'd be 2 months for me to wait. And so I went to Barnes & Noble, I went to Target, there was nowhere because everywhere had sold out this book. And they were trying to print it so fast because it got so popular so quick. So I kind of waited, and then once I was able to grab one, I got it.
Oh.
So it's super popular now.
I love that for her, though.
I know, me
awesome.
too.
Wow.
Love,
but yeah,
love
I mean,
her.
There's a reason it's popular. It's because it's good. So
yeah.
If you love, your Ghost Shadow Daddies, pick it up, read it, enjoy it.
So guys, that's a wrap on today's episode of Two Chicks and a Plot Twist. We hope that you enjoyed hearing our thoughts on the books we recommended for each other and our reviews on Phantasma. We'd love to hear your thoughts about this episode, so send us a message or comment on our socials.
Thank you guys so much for listening and supporting us. If you're interested in being a guest on our podcast, check out our Instagram or Facebook page at Two Chicks and a Plot Twist. There is a sign-up form in our link tree. From our link tree, you can also visit our brand new website.
Yes! And for guests, I'll let y'all know our schedules are getting packed so quickly. We have got so many amazing authors and people in the publishing world and in bookstores who want to come and join our podcast. We're scheduling out so far right now.
Yes.
Please sign up. Please sign up. We love chatting with you guys.
Yes, the sooner the better. We want to get you on our schedule.
So, guys, you can follow me on my personal Instagram. It's at Haleys.books.
And you can follow me on Instagram at McKaylie Daniels.
Join us for our next episode. We're going to be going over all of our reads of 2024. We're discussing how our reading goals went, and we're picking one book for each month of 24 we loved, and a couple we just didn't like, or some that we just DNF'd.
Yes, and we will also be talking about How My Neighbor Stole Christmas by Megan Quinn. So we've got a packed episode for you guys.
I am so excited for that next episode.
Yes.
I can't wait for y'all to hear it.
You can expect a podcast episode from us now every Thursday. We are going weekly. Yes, it's official. We are doing weekly episodes now. So we will go ahead and just see you next time. Bye.
Bye.